And welcome to another episode of the Nindie Focus Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my co-hosts Jordan.
Hello.
And Mike.
I'm sorry.
And Phil.
I don't think I'm sorry, but I'm here.
I don't think I'm sorry, but I might be. Anyway, welcome.
We'll stay tuned and find out if I'm sorry or not.
Yeah, so I don't know what episode this is. 18, I want to say.
18 or 19,
18 or 19. Yeah, we're getting up there, guys. We're getting up there in age, guys. So
Speak
today,
for yourself.
Well, yeah, that's true. Today we are talking about Dear God.
That's funny because that's how you said it too.
That is our switching on a budget game. But before we get into that, let's go around and tell people what we're currently playing. And Phil, we'll start with you. What games are you currently playing?
I got it a little bit more time in with Super Blood Hockey, and that's about as exciting as my week got. I'm now on week 3 of the month, and I believe my team's record is somewhere like 17-4.
That's really
or not
good.
17-4. I'm sorry, 7-4, not
that's
17.
Still good.
That's still good. Yeah, that's a
I've
record.
learned how to use the one-timer a little bit, and that's really helped things out.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
need to know that.
Yeah, it's not an actual one-timer, but it's about as close as you can get in that style of game. And that's made my life a little bit easier. That, and I signed a couple of more people that cost a little bit more money because with wins comes money. Still haven't had anybody die yet, though, so I don't know if the dumpster gets used. It's partially my own fault for cycling in healthy players and, putting the unhealthy ones on the bench to recover and not just wanting to kill my... I know. I don't want to kill my teammates. So... I'm still running along with that. I plan on seeing what happens once the entire season is over, if there's a playoffs, and if I get paid more for that, and if it carries over into the next season, if I can keep building our team up. And outside of that, I spent a lot of time with Dear God.
Yeah, Dear God. Sounds like you're becoming attached to your team there, Phil.
I am.
Yeah.
I like these guys. With the exception of the fact that every time the Zamboni comes out, they run over half my team, and I wonder if that doesn't do more brain damage than the actual game itself does. It's like, oh, you guys got to get in faster. Quit getting run over all the time. You've seen this before.
Oh, yeah. No, it's funny. That game is just a hoot. Yeah, cool. What about you, Mike? What have you been playing?
So the only game that I really played was, aside from obviously Dear God, was Carrion.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I played that all the way through.
You beat it.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
It took me about 3 days, not full 3 days, not 72 hours. I think probably maybe about between 6 and 8 hours to beat the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's longer than I thought it would be, actually.
Yeah, it's oh man, I had so much fun with it. It's so much it's okay, so I love horror movies.
Yeah.
And this one was right up my alley because there's no game quite like it. And it's cool because you start off as this little creature, and then by the end of the game, you're just this huge honking just mass of blobs and tentacles and eyes and
teeth.
And the only downside to that is later on in the game, it becomes really difficult to control the thing.
Yes.
Like
I can see that.
Yeah, I try to go into one vent, but the other half of him is going up into a different vent, and I'm fighting with myself. It's tough, but it really does make you feel like you're a monster in a horror movie. There's these soldiers are shooting at me or something, and I grab one of them and pull him into a tunnel. And he's still alive, but I'm holding him by his head.
Yeah.
And you just use the right thumbstick and you flick it forward and then quickly backwards, and it's like a Mortal Kombat fatality. His head just snaps off, and his body just goes flying, and you're just sitting there holding his head with the spine swinging back and forth. I don't have problems, just so you know. But I grew up in a world of silly violence like that.
Looney Tunes.
Well, a little more violent than Looney Tunes. I got back up. It's not like the creature painted a tunnel on the side of a mountain and just ran into it.
Yeah.
And all the humans just ran face first into it.
Right. Yeah. But it's a really good game. The puzzles are challenging, but not frustrating.
Yeah.
you could pretty much figure it out. I know a lot of people are complaining that there's no map in the game, but I was able to find my way around pretty easily without a map. But I understand what people are saying because it does have like those Metroidvania elements.
Yeah.
But I did play the game. I beat the game. I got the full gamer score.
Wow.
I would definitely, I would play it again. I would love to see this game being done by Rocksteady.
Oh yeah.
Using the Arkham engine.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would make for an awesome like sequel to the game. But like the ending's kind of abrupt, but it's interesting. It's a good, the music is good too. It's definitely got like a horror soundtrack. I would have liked to have like a lot more like synthesizer music in it because I think that would really go well with the style.
Yeah.
But definitely worth a pickup, especially if you're a horror fan.
So I also been playing Carrion as well. So I haven't beaten it yet, but I think I made it. I mean, I wouldn't say really far, but I put in a good solid couple hours into this game. Mm-hmm. And I will say one thing that, I don't know how you felt about this, but the game did feel a little repetitive after a while.
You know what? I got bored a bit.
Okay.
I was like, right around, I think like the 5 hour point, I'm like, okay, is this game going to be over?
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm kind of at right now.
But I stuck with it and I'm glad I did.
Okay. The other thing I will say, like, so like, I think the fun part about the game is like being like making it like a horror movie, right? Like you said, how you grab somebody and like toss them around. Like I would grab somebody and then pull them down below, so his friends were like, "What happened to him? Yeah. Oh my god!" And then I come up the other side and grab somebody from the other side. Like I was trying to like make my own horror movie.
Yes,
like,
no, I was doing the same thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I was doing the exact same thing. And I know you made a point in our chat. It was like you would have liked to like the characters to be a bit more personable. Like,
yes.
Like have a personality or something like that.
Yes.
Like, and it's funny because you mentioned that because I don't know if any of you have ever played The Lost World when it came out on the PlayStation.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So there's a part where you're playing as the Velociraptor or the T-Rex.
Oh yeah.
And when you kill like a random person, you'll hear one of the other guys yell, "They got George!"
Oh yeah.
So when you said that, it reminded me of that game. But
yeah. See, and that's the thing that I think. I mean, because the thing that I don't know, and like every character kind of looked. There's like 3 or 4 models, right? Like, maybe a little bit more, but there's really like you have your normal people, then you have your scientists, and you have the scientists in hazmat suits, and then you have like characters with guns. They're kind of like the same characters as before. Then you have these guys that have like special weapons, like blowtorches or.
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god! Now I'm liking it better now that you're mentioning this because no, it's seriously. I felt no. So like the first time I experienced the scientists. Or the hazmat guys, because you can't kill the hazmat guys because they have hazmats. Or I mean, you can kill them, but you can't eat them.
Yeah, correct.
But the first time I encountered one, and then he got me with the flamethrower, and I realized the flames weren't going out, and that my monster was like squealing. I was making a mad dash and trying to remember where the nearest body of water was.
Yeah.
So like true. I was panicking with like the monster. So that was I remember that. That was a cool part when that happened.
Yeah.
And then it was even better when, and I apologize, I'm not spoiling much of the plot, but I'm spoiling like one of the power ups you get, or should I just be quiet?
No, you can. I was going to talk about power ups.
I think you're good. Yeah,
I think you're fine.
There's a power up where you can take control of a human.
Yeah.
And then when I took control of one of the humans and turned the flamethrower on the rest of the humans, it was so nice.
Yeah, I will say, like, I think some of the powers are really cool, and what they do with the powers and how they do the powers is pretty interesting. So there's 4 different buttons that have different powers, but then there's 8 different powers, I think, right?
Yeah, there's different powers, and depending on the size of your monster, so like you have different powers, and some areas require you to use certain powers, so you have to find like this like a pool of bile to like drop off half of your body
so that you can downgrade to get that other power,
right?
To use that power that you had. So
right, yeah, and then you just say to the rest of your body, "All right, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere." and then you use that to do something like
the webbing one is like
the webbing one is cool. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, Jordan, you haven't played this, have you?
No, but I've seen gameplay of it and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was actually really interesting because, like Mike, you were saying, like your creature is like huge, and as it gets bigger, you get more and more health. But and then as you get bigger, that means that you can use different powers. So like the left trigger button might be, the webbing when you're smaller, but then when you get bigger, it might be smashing down the door. I don't remember the exact number, the exact buttons, but it was either right or left. I don't remember. But so then there'll be times where you're like, oh, I need to actually use the webbing. So you need, like Mike said, make yourself smaller. So you're actually more vulnerable at that point because you have less health. But then you use that to open a gate, go back, get your body back up, or you can just eat humans, right? And grow yourself back to what you were before. So.
And it's really cool, like some of the stealth parts that you're doing. Like, so I'm like underneath somebody in the vent, and I'm just waiting for him to turn around, and then I just grab him and snatch him and pull him in the vent, and the other guy turns around and his buddy's not there. Yeah. I don't know. It's I'm enjoying it.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I wish, because I like those moments, right? But I wish that there was more of like, help me, somebody.
I agree. Instead of just screaming.
Yeah, just instead of screaming.
I'll agree with that.
My favorite was I grabbed one of the guys in the hazmat and I pulled him down and then into one of the pools because he was burning me, so I pulled him down with me. And then he tried swimming out, and I'm like, "Oh no, you're not getting away, buddy!" I don't know, it was kind of cool. I mean, I do like the game. It's interesting. I just think that there's things that could have been added to make it even a better experience. But that's not saying that it's not a good experience, because I do think it's fun. Cool. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, that was it.
Cool. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, nothing too much this week. Just been playing some big games on the Switch and PC and stuff like that. Obviously, Dear God, and then I did pick up the free download of Fantasy Strike and gave that a go.
You did
the fighting game, yeah. Because I was curious. I'm always curious about fighting games, even though I go through the same process every time. Where I'm like, this is going to be the one I'm going to get really good at, and then I'll like buy a fight stick and I'll like start practicing, like learning combos and like watching pros play, even though I'm never going to hit that level. I'm like all this kind of stuff. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, yeah, I played 5 people online and they all just destroyed me. So what am I even doing with my life? And then I quit forever. But this one was free. Yeah, this one was free. So I was like, I'll check it out. And it is cool. I feel like it is a good like entry level fighter, because a lot of stuff they do is way easier than other fighters. Like all the moves and abilities, there's no like quarter circle back, zigzag, BA, up, down, like that kind of stuff. You don't have that kind of stuff. Really cool. Like if you are trying to grab someone, you can only grab them if they're moving. And if you try to grab them and they're standing still, like they do an auto counter and you take damage. Like just cool stuff like that. That makes it a simpler, like a good starter fighting game, I would say. But I did hop in after the training and I was like, okay, this is really cool. Like pretty simple overall. And then fought against some AI. And I'm 99% sure that I put it on easy. And if that's easy, then I will never play this game again, because I just got absolutely wrecked. Like multiple times I got just like, I didn't hit them once and they just destroyed me. And I was like, how is this easy? Usually easy in games is like, you always win no matter what. They're kind of just there for like fodder for you to beat up, and they may get a hit here or there, but they just absolutely destroyed me, wiped the floor with me. And I was like, okay, maybe it was the character. I'll try a different character. Because they do have very unique characters that play different ways. Nope, didn't matter. The AI was insane. Maybe I accidentally, before hitting play, I like moved it to hard instead of easy. Like if it, if it's like easy, medium, hard, and it goes back around or whatever. Maybe I accidentally did that. But I don't think so.
Yeah, welcome to the world of 16-bit fighting games.
God.
That was... Yeah,
Joy-Cons just drifting.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
There you go. Yep. Street Fighter, and then this was one of the guys who worked on Street Fighter.
Yeah, he wrote down Street Fighter.
I will say, and Street Fighter for the Super Nintendo was actually, the AI was programmed to specifically cheat.
Huh.
And that's, there's I don't know where the article is, but there's a really cool article about that where like that's how the game was programmed. So I wonder if some of that was like carry over into this game.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, So I owned the game, so I was like, oh, like there's new characters, I'm gonna play it, and I stuck with the character that I always play with, Setsuki, because I don't know, she's just the easiest to play with, and I was like, I want to play again. I started at medium. I just went through the storyline, right, or the arcade, or what do they call it, the arcade or whatever it's the arcade level. Anyway, so it's a story. So I was playing it, and I got my butt kicked right away, and I was just like, I forgot how to play this game. I did finally start remembering some things, and I was like, okay. Then I beat her story at medium. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go online. And the first person I whooped. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm really good at this game. I'm like really good. The thing was, they never blocked any of my attacks. She does this shadow attack where she like disappears and appears behind you and does this kick. And it's easy enough if you block it, but and she has a hard time with characters like Rook, who are characters that like to fight close combat. Because when she's close combat, she's gonna be toast. But this person never blocked any of my moves, and I just won. I whooped their butt. Like, didn't even get hit once, and I'm like, okay, like I don't know, that didn't seem very fair. And then the next person I fought, I mean, it was a close battle. I did lose, but I was like, okay, that seemed more fair than the last one I did. But Jordan, I'll play with you. We can play, and we'll see. I mean, it's free, and we can give it a go.
Yeah, it is free. Apparently, I was just looking because it's on Steam too and everything. It's free there. But there's a quote here that says, "Fantasy Strike is an easy-to-learn fighting game that you will not be remotely good at." It's very true.
Yeah, that's true.
There's like a lot of simplicity to it, but it actually is really difficult. Like the fact that you don't have to worry about like blocking high or blocking low. It's just like a block is a block no matter what. So they simplified a lot of that, but yeah. Maybe it's just one of those things where it's, you just stick with one character and learn their stuff, and or I'll never touch it again. Who knows? It's likely that one. Let's be real. Well, I got so frustrated. I'll probably never touch it again.
I was going to say, I do think this is one of those games. It sounds weird to say this because really everybody's moveset is pretty much the same, right? Like you don't have like you said, like left, up, diagonal, like punch to do the special move. They all have special moves, but to trigger the special moves, it's all the same for every character, but their style is different, right? So all their styles 100%. A little bit. I do think that if you find a character that you like, because I started playing with Rook, because I'm like, oh, he's this big rock guy, like he seems really like, why wouldn't I want to play with him? And I think the game suggests to play with him at first because he has the most health too. But he is, I mean, and if he lands something, like he's pretty kick butt. But
he's like the Zangief of that game.
Yeah, he is. He is actually. He really is. But once you start exploring other characters, you're going to find like, oh, like my style actually fits more with this kind of play. Like for me, it's Setsuki because she does a lot of jumping. She does a lot of like her abilities, like she jumps and throws kunai at people. She disappears behind people and does like these shadow attacks and such. So she's more about doing quick attacks and then getting out, and that's more of my style of playing too. So, but I don't know. I mean, I would if you're interested. I mean, I'll play a couple matches with you, and I'm sure you'll win because I'm not that good. I'm really not that good. But it's fun. I mean, and I did stream. Actually, that was one of the games I streamed this week on Monday. Yeah, Monday. I streamed on Monday. So, cool. Anything else, Jordan?
No, that's it.
So actually, I played actually quite a bit this week. Yeah. So I made a list because I forgot. I actually forgot that I played Fantasy Strike. So I won't talk about that again. But I played. Carrion, like I said, I won't talk about that game again because I already talked enough about that. I played a game called Dex, D-E-X. It is a Mike, it's your favorite word. It's a cyberpunk RPG game.
I was hoping you were going to go cyberpunk roguelike.
That's what I was waiting for.
Right over a cliff.
I'm done.
That would have been, no, it's an action side-scrolling RPG set in a cyberpunk world. So here's an interesting thing. I think I'm like 90% sure of this. This is a remake of an old computer game. I'm pretty sure that's the case. And you can play two different styles. You can play classic style or you can play casual style. Now, when I think casual, I think like somebody that, you just want to play, but, you just want more of the story, right? And I think classic is probably what they intended the game to be. So I was like, I'm going to start with classic. And combat was so slow. It was unbelievably slow, like to the point where I didn't even want to play it anymore. I was like, this is really frustrating. I started the game over, and I went to casual mode. And that is more in line with how I feel like games should be played now. Like you punch and there should be a quick reaction to it. And you can punch several times and not have to like have input weights and stuff like that. Because the game is hard. Like the very first battle you fight against 3 other people like right away with a boss. And it's like, what the heck? You're going to throw me into this right away? But when I put on casual, like I felt like it was more, I didn't like the word casual. I felt like it was more like modern versus classic. Because I felt like there was more of what modern games feel like. And then once I started playing it underneath that, I liked it a lot more. At first, I was just like, I don't like this game at all. This game is frustrating. I hate it. I do not like it. Like it's sluggish. It is slow. But yeah, when I switched over to the casual mode, I really loved the game. It reminds me a lot of, in some ways, it reminds me a lot of the old Fallouts 1 and 2. I know that was a top-down RPG kind of game, but in regards to the fact that you run into different characters and then there's dialogue trees, and depending on how you answer, will have different effects. Not all characters, but some. And then you can put points into your charisma that will help change your options that you can select from as well. And then you can also put into like hacking and combat and all these different areas that you can put your points into. So it's an interesting game, and then the story is actually quite interesting too. You're a character that can hack into things, but not have to like log into like cybernetic, like plug into the system or whatever. So it's a mystery. It reminds me a little bit of like Blade Runner as well, like that kind of style. I haven't played much of it, so I can't really talk too much to this. But apparently, there must be some there's some sex in this game because I picked up condoms. That was one of the things that was like, you found a box of condoms. I'm like, I guess I'll take those. And then I watched the trailer, and they're like, "Welcome to Aphrodite. What was your pleasure?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's where I'm going to use the condoms, I'm sure."
Interesting.
And you give us a hard time for playing waifu.
Yeah, kidding. Meanwhile, you're playing Safe Sex Simulator.
Yeah, right.
You just play a little bit of Waifu Uncovered, and all of a sudden we're bad people.
Yeah. So, I'll be playing more of it because once I was able to find that other setting, it just felt like more of a game that I would play now versus. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when you play like old computer games and they're fighting and then you keep hitting the space button, but your character's like, ugh. You throw one punch and you're like, come on, hit him. That's what it is. Not like, I mean, there is probably some tactic to doing it with the classic, right? So you like, but it's just so slow. It was just the inputs were slow. It just felt sluggish. So. The other games I've been playing, I also streamed some Slay the Spire this week.
Ooh,
I saw
that game.
Yeah. So, Jordan, would you say it's a roguelike? Would you say it's a roguelike?
I mean, yeah, but card-based.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it is.
I guess.
Are you trying to get Mike to quit?
No, he asked me on the stream, is this a roguelike? And I said, I don't know. I mean, it's a card game. It's a deck building game, and I guess there's some kind of roguelike to it because, I mean, every run's going to be different, right? And you get different...
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's technically a roguelike, yeah. But it just doesn't feel like it because it's more tactical, and it's not like you're running around grabbing items. It's all turn-based, card-based combat.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that game a lot. I mean, I did the daily challenge. I made it to the boss, and the first boss, I should say. And you know, it's all depending on the cards that you get, right? So I was killing it up to the boss, and then dude, the thing just killed me, and I was just like, "There's nothing I could do." But it's addicting because it's like, okay, I can do better next time. I can do this better next time. I like that.
And there are different characters in the way they play and stuff, different decks, which is cool, as opposed to a lot of roguelikes. It's, you know, your same character picking up the same kind of items. At least this one is like your deck is pretty vastly different in how you play.
Yeah. And do you unlock new, I know you unlock new characters. Do you also unlock new cards too as you go along?
Oh god, it's been a while since I've played. I want to say yes.
I think so too.
I don't remember.
I know that like every battle you get to pick a new card, right? And then you can find shops and buy new cards and stuff like that. As a deck builder goes, it's probably the standard, right? The gold standard for deck builders. So.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's a fantastic game.
And then I played some Cat Quest 2 with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
That was fun. I did find one thing, and I felt bad about this, but so she was the healer, and I was the one that was doing the attacking. So I said, okay, you stand back there and you heal while I go in and do the attacking, and then I'll yell, throw down a heal, and you throw down a heal. Okay, I got it. Well, then she threw down the wrong button. She hit the wrong button. It was like fire. I'm like, no, I said heal. Oh, why did you do that? She's like, I hit the wrong button. And then there'd be times where like I was like, roll out of the. Why did you roll out of the? I was trying to, Dad. You rolled this way. Why did you roll this way, Dad? I was trying, and then I realized, oh no, I can't be that dad, right? I can't like yell at her for playing games.
Roger, you can't be that teammate in general. That's what they call toxic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They do.
That's
and long
true.
story short, you got family counseling next week.
Yeah, exactly. But I caught myself and I said, okay, like I need to encourage her, and I can't because she hasn't played Cat Quest before. So like the first half, I was probably like a little hard on her, and then after the second half, I was like, "Oh, that was awesome! Good job!" And then she said, "I had a lot of fun playing," and she wants to play again. So,
nice.
Good, yeah. So, yeah, we've been doing that. So, but the other thing is, she's learning this about me. I was like, okay, so that boss that we want to fight, yeah, he's like level 17. Yeah, but Dad, we're like level 20. Yeah, well, we should get 23 before we fight him. No, Dad, why? Because you want to be overpowered, right? You don't want to go.
It's rule number 1 of RPGs.
That's right. She's like, but this is taking forever. Let's just take that boss out. I'm like, Ellie, we have to grind to level up. That's how it works.
Side quest, Ellie. Side quest. They're there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be careful though, because she may use that against you in the future. Hey, I need you to empty the dishwasher, but Dad, that's really the job of a 12-year-old. So
that's right.
I need to
higher level.
Up
Yeah, I need to level up. I can't do that yet. I need to work up to that. And then the last game I've been playing is Doodle God. Have you guys heard of this game?
Oh yeah, I heard of that. I don't know what it's about.
I know the name. Yeah, that's about it.
I know the name. Yeah.
So it's on sale. They have Doodle God and Doodle Crime. Both of those games are on sale. I think for like $3 a piece right now. So it's a puzzle game. And what you do is, I bought both of them, but I've just been playing Doodle God. And you have these elements and you mix them together and it creates a new element. And then you unlock different areas and you get to take those new elements, mix them with other elements to create life on your planet, basically. And and so there's different puzzles you have to unlock with mixing the different elements together. And I guess that you could cause catastrophes based on how you build things out and such. So I haven't gotten too far into it. It's very casual. It is like the most casual game I've ever played, probably. But it's one of those games where you're winding down at night and you're just like, I'm just gonna play some of this puzzle game here. And it's cool. And the thing is, it's cool about it is that it's a game for all ages. So my daughter could play it, even my son could play it. I haven't played the crime one. The crime one sounds interesting though, because you can either be a crime lord or you can be a police chief, and you can pick. And then the puzzles are different based on that. So that sounds interesting. But Doodle God, you are God, and you're putting Earth together, basically. Interesting concept. Wow, that was a lot. And that's just all the indies I played. I mean, I did play some other games that are, bigger name titles that I, that's not where this podcast is not a place for those games, but I did play other games as well. So
yeah, you had a busy week. Holy hell, Roger.
You made up for all of us.
Yeah, I guess.
No kidding.
And I also did put more time into Dauntless as well. So I know, Phil, you saw me streaming that.
Yep.
So yeah, I did. Wow, I did play a lot. Wow. All right, that's all I have for the games then that we're currently playing. Let's move on then to the switching on the budget segment. And Mike, you picked this game.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm sorry at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
What are you sorry for, Mike?
Oh,
Phil,
Yeah.
you introduced this game first, Mike, and then
it was my fault completely. I wasn't paying attention. I thought the game was about the life of Kid Rock, and that's
what?
Yeah, but the game was called the Deer God and not the Bull God, and I was just a very, very obscure 90s and 2000s joke I wanted to throw out there.
I'm still chuckling.
Okay, at least somebody got it.
Mike, when you did pick this game though, did you know anything about this game? I'm just curious.
Not a thing.
Okay.
All I saw was that it was 39 cents, and I'm like, that's my kind of game. And I thought it looked nice. I kind of like those stylized, pixely graphics. That's kind of like what Carrion is almost like.
Yep.
That kind of like washed out, or I don't even know how to describe it. But
there's a big difference between Carrion and this game, though.
Well, yeah, I mean. So, anyways, in the Deer God, it's a 2D side scroller, and you play as a hunter that was attacked and killed while hunting deer, and he's resurrected as a deer, and then you run around and you attack things that attack you, but if you attack those things that attack you, it makes you evil or something, and then there's a giant frog that kills you, and you can do a double jump as the deer, and it's really difficult, and I could not understand it.
Yeah.
Is that about sum it up?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the game.
Did you just say it was difficult?
I couldn't figure anything out.
I couldn't figure it out either, Phil. I didn't know what I was doing in that game.
I have no idea what in the heck was going on in that game. But the last thing I would say was difficult. It's a super easy and cheese game. You just got to run through it. Don't ask me about the plot line.
Whoa.
No, seriously. I blazed through that game in no time flat, and there's a lot of replayability to it that I didn't get into. But
sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you use your powers, like your fire and all that kind of good
What?
stuff?
You have powers?
You can get powers.
You're assuming we got to that point.
No, you did, because it's all mapped to the top button. I want to call it the Y button because I mainly played the Xbox, but you can sit there and just spam the frog with the X button. He doesn't even touch you and he's dead. And you can do the same thing with all of the bosses.
But there's an evil, isn't there a good and evil bar or something?
Oh, there's definitely a good and evil bar. Yeah,
but it seemed like every time I killed an animal that was attacking me, it was making me evil.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well,
and then you just want to kill the
hunters. What are they trying to tell you? You can't defend yourself?
Yeah.
Well, you're atoning for your sins of killing the baby deer, so you can't kill more animals. Otherwise, it makes you a bad person.
Yeah, but what animals
I'm not
can
a person.
you kill? Yeah, I'm not a person.
You were until you got reincarnated.
Yeah, but in the animal world, I mean, they don't have the same good and evil morals like humans do. It's a different code, man.
Do deers go out and deers plural? Do deer just go out and kill people randomly, or animals randomly?
Sometimes they gorge other. Yeah,
it's always premeditated. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
It is.
all deer kills are premeditated.
Yeah,
Deer only attack deer if it's mating season. They're trying to win over the hot little doe that's over in that corner.
That's not
checking out the
true.
thing.
I got attacked by a deer already, and I didn't do anything.
Maybe I thought you were a hot little doe.
Yeah, no kidding.
I got killed by a deer.
Yeah, Mike got killed by a deer. And now you came back as Smoke. So
yeah, yep.
Oh, that's how Moke happened.
Yeah,
we know.
Yeah.
The more you know soundbar here.
Yeah.
No, okay. So okay. I'm with Mike on this one. So I'm going to jump in here quick. So I came back as a deer, and I was like, okay, whatever. This is a reincarnation thing. You're evil, whatever. So you came back as a deer. You came back as a thing that you attempted to kill. And then I was just like, I don't know. I'm supposed to attack things. So I started attacking like porcupine and rabbits and anything else that was moving. And
Nope,
then,
just run.
And then these bars were growing, and I was like, I don't know what that means, but okay. And then I died. And then this big god deer said, oh, you're a terrible person. And then it sent me back as a rabbit. And I was like, well, I can't do much as a rabbit. And then I died, and I came back as a snake. And I didn't even do anything bad as a rabbit. I'm like, okay, this time I'm not going to do anything bad. So
Wait, really? You got reincarnated as different animals?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so good. Did we play the same game?
I didn't get reincarnated as a different animal.
Oh.
I died and then I came back and then
Roger, did you get in my stash again?
No, Jordan, right? Am I right?
No, to be honest, I played this for about 3 minutes. That's about it. I ran forward, I killed some stuff, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I died once, but I came back as a deer.
yeah.
Like
You
I
did?
grew into a larger deer,
Uh-huh.
and then when I died, I was a baby deer again.
You guys didn't come
Yeah.
back as other animals?
No.
What game did you? Are you sure you played the Deer God?
Yes, I
Did you
played the
play
Deer God.
DEAR God or
No.
DEER
No, I think
God?
back.
There's
No,
2 Deer Gods on the eShop.
this is. I came back as a snake, and that's why I said this game is broken, because I kept going to the right, and the snake can't jump where shit. Sorry, I had to.
Whoa, Roger, with his
Wow.
Mario going.
Wow.
Roger,
It
yeah.
only took 18 episodes.
We finally broke them with our
Dear God,
weekend
broke
with
Roger.
waifu.
So yeah, exactly.
Weekend
So-
with waifu.
I get to the edge of the world, and I'm like, I don't know what to do here, and I jumped. He can't jump. I jumped, and it just kept falling through the screen, and I realized, oh, this game's broken. I just made it to this part where it was supposed to like render something, but it didn't, and I just kept falling and falling and falling and falling and falling and falling into nothing. So then I started the game over, because I was like, at first I thought, oh, maybe I'm going to hell or something. I don't know. And then I realized, nope, that game was just broken. So I started over, and I came back again as a deer first, but then it came back as a snake. You guys didn't come back as a snake at all?
No.
Well, here's the problem, though, is there's a certain amount of lives, because every time that you go and you become, we'll say, friendly with a female deer, you produce a baby deer. And that baby deer is kind of like your save point and will give you an extra life. This is just what I gathered in my small period of time of playing it. And by small period of time, I mean I put probably about 3 hours into it.
But you beat
and
this game, right?
There's quotation marks in beat.
Okay.
Because you can keep going after you beat it, because you can choose after you get to getting all the artifacts, I think is what they're called, and putting them back in the temple. You can choose if you want to then play as a human or if you want to keep playing as a deer. And I chose to keep playing as a deer.
What is this? Did I play the wrong game here? Like, I did not see any temples or anything.
Well, they're not necessarily temples, but they're these big, what's the word I'm looking for? Obelisk? Oh, I don't know how to say that word.
Obelisks.
Obelisk, yeah, thank you. There's those things. And if you, after you defeat certain things or you do certain chores for people, you get these artifacts that you can drop off there. And after you collect all 5 of the different artifacts is when you beat the game, after you go and release like a couple of deers that were buried inside. Deers again, seriously, learn how to flip and talk. And then you go and talk to the main deer, and he's just like, yo, you saved everybody, so you should probably keep going forward and see what happens. And then you go forward, you make it to the next, that O word that I can't pronounce. And then you go back as the hunter, and you're standing in front of the deer god, and the deer god's just like, you've done a great job of redeeming yourself in the past life. Would you like to continue on as a deer / the wildlife, or would you like to play as a human? But be warned, if you play as a human, weird shit's going to happen. And I chose to keep playing as a deer, so then I got reincarnated as a deer, and I've got this big like medallion around my neck that's got a cross on it. And suddenly I'm a lot more tough, and I can beat everything up in like 2-3 hits. And that's where I stopped, and I'm kind of curious where this continues to go, because I am the only person in this room that enjoyed Dear God.
I
I
will have
did
to give this
not.
another shot, because
No,
I
I
would
will
love to
too.
play as a
No.
snake.
No, I played as a snake, and this old guy
I
said,
want to play as a snake too. I'm pissed I didn't get to play as a snake. I want to
and I
play as
played as a
other animals.
rabbit. I played as a rabbit too, and the
I
rabbit
got turned
did
into a
nothing.
frog by a witch, and that's about it.
You guys didn't come back as a snake, so I think if you kill everything as a deer, and I didn't know what I was doing, then
Did you
come
run
back.
out of lives and get reincarnated? Maybe.
I got reincarnated as a snake.
Yeah, so you ran out of lives. I never ran out of lives.
What do you mean you ran out of lives? I mean, my life died. I died. My character died. My deer died.
Mm-hmm. But did you make friendly with the doe deer and make baby deers so you could save?
No, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know.
I didn't either.
It's because he got the box of condoms from the other game.
Yeah, exactly. No,
condoms carry over?
Yeah, they carry over. I'm not going to make any jokes about that. Anyway, so no, the game didn't make any sense. I made it to this guy who said, "Help me find my glasses." I think he dropped his glasses.
Looking for a monacle.
Looking for a monocle.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find his house, and then my deer died.
Just keep going straight. You'll find it.
But the
entire game is just keep moving straight. It takes a long time to find it.
I made it to this alligator place, and this alligator, and then I jumped in the water, and then I think that's when I died the first time, and then the rabbit made it there, and then he died.
Did you make it to the cows?
No, I didn't make it to any cows. I made it.
Did you make it to the train?
No,
the desert?
I didn't make it anywhere because
the monocle's past the desert.
I died as the deer. I died as the rabbit. I came back the snake, and I couldn't do anything. And then I was like, I'm done with this game. This game sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. And if this is supposed to be a religious experience, I'll tell you, the only religious experience I had was that I realized hell is real.
Oh, man, I didn't know this game would just break the entire show.
Like, don't get me wrong. I had no idea what was going on in this game. I just kept running to the right. That's all that I did the entire game is I just kept running. I jumped over almost every enemy that I saw. I ate berries on the ground so I didn't starve to death. Every time I get to like a little hut or a person I could talk to, I'd go inside, talk to the person and be like, hey, if you could find me some witch hazel, that'd be awesome because my kids are starving to death. So I'd keep running straight and I'd eventually find some witch hazel, keep running straight, and I'd eventually loop back to their house, give them the witch hazel. They'd give me whatever the artifacts or whatever that need to be placed on the O word. And then I'd keep running straight and I'd run into my next quest. Like, that's seriously all that I did was run right the entire time. I'm not telling you it's a great game. I'm telling you it didn't suck. I'm telling you that it's not fantastic. And I'm also saying that I had no effing clue what was going on the entire time I was playing it.
Okay, so at least we're on the same page with that part.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
I wish I was streaming this when the things that happened to me happened. Like the fact that just the ground didn't render and I just fell through space and time forever. I wish I was recording that because that was interesting. As a snake. This is so weird. It's just weird. It's weird that you guys didn't come back as other animals because I came back as a snake and I came back as a rabbit and then I did come back as a deer again. So I must have been like, well, I must have did something right. I came back as a deer. It's just weird that you guys didn't experience any of that.
Like I've reached day 55 or so before I quit playing today because every so often you get to a certain checkpoint, it'll advance the day. And I'd like to say I only died 3 times maybe playing the entire time. But never to the point where it was like game over reincarnated. But like the big deer god would appear in front of me and be like, this is your last life. And I'd be like, well, I guess I got to go reproduce. Sucks to be me.
See, she didn't even say that to me. She said, you did a terrible job. And then I came back as a snake. I was like, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what I was doing. What was I doing? I don't get it. And here's the, sorry, I'll let other people talk, but here's the other thing I will say. Like, wasn't this game like, didn't it say as like part of the description, like you'll have like a religious experience, you'll question everything about religion or something like that?
Yeah, that part I didn't get except for the entire reincarnation aspect of it.
Yeah, I didn't question anything. And the only thing I questioned was like, I mean, unless this hunter was like a terrible person that was just leaving carcasses all around. I mean, he was hunter. So what? That's what hunters do. If you live in Wisconsin, there's tons of deer here. I want hunters to go out and hunt. Like,
I see a lot of them on the side of the road.
Yeah, exactly. Does that make them terrible people that hit the deer? I mean, I don't know.
You'll know when they get reincarnated,
I
Roger.
Guess,
that's right.
You will know
I'll come back as a snake or a rabbit.
Yeah, I feel like this game, I'm going to play it more just to see. But I feel like it's in this weird in-between spot where I wish they would have just either taken out all combats and all like needing to eat and just did a strictly like narrative experience, or they made it more difficult in a proper platformer. It seems like it's in this weird place where it's like the platforming isn't hard enough to be challenging gameplay wise, and the narrative isn't either solid enough or just upfront enough to make you want to keep pushing forward. And if they went in on one or the other, I think it would have been much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll agree. The platforming in it is absolutely cake, and that there was no description for anything in it. That's why I just kept running forward. I'm like, well, if I keep going forward, I'm going to run into something. And I just avoided a vast majority of all the fights. Like, by the time I was done, I didn't even have either one of the two light or evil bars even halfway full.
Yeah, see, I had the evil bar. And that's the thing. I was just killing everything. I didn't know what I was doing.
I didn't even know there was a light or evil bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on that top button. I think on the Switch it's an X.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
And that'll also pull up your menu where you can equip your items and that kind of stuff.
Wait,
And you can also
what?
get your firepower. Yeah, there's items and
yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play this game again, and I'm gonna stream it, and I'm gonna show you that you can come back as a rabbit or a snake.
Well, it's not going to happen now.
I know, right? Exactly. No, because that. Yeah, it probably won't. But it was just the weirdest thing. This was, I'm telling you, it was the weirdest. This is a weird conversation because I thought all of you would come back as snakes and rabbits. I feel like we should have a podcast just now. Like maybe this is a lot deeper than I thought. Wow.
Welcome to the Dear God podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this is going to end up being a religious experience.
That's right.
for us
We're
at
all
some point.
Yeah,
like,
we're in such a deep conversation.
we are questioning things right now. Maybe not religion yet, but maybe we're going to get there.
So stay away.
I'm telling you
stay
guys,
around for
the game
another
doesn't-
hour.
It seriously doesn't suck that bad. It's not great, but it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
sticking with that. I'll give it a rock solid like 6.5, 7 if I was to put it on a 1 through 10 scale. I honestly would. Yeah.
See, I would give it, I don't know, probably like a 5. Because, I mean, because of the fact that I ran into the rendering issues, and I don't even know what I was doing. Like, I don't know. It seems like maybe I got a broken copy because it came back.
Broken digital
It's all-
download.
Exactly. Maybe I got the special code. Maybe that's the religious experience
go.
right there. Yeah, you're special. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that's all I wanted to say on the game. I just
I told you guys I was going to be the one person not to wipe my butt with this entire game. I did not hate it.
yeah.
Well, you've piqued my interest. I'm going to have to give it
Yeah,
another shot.
same.
Are you guys going to try to come
Seriously.
back as snakes and rabbits?
I'm just going to try playing it again and see what happens.
Yeah, see where it goes.
Kill everything and then die, and then you'll come back as a snake or a rabbit. I guarantee you.
But that's what I was doing. I was killing everything, and then I died, and I came back as a deer.
What the?
I
No,
literally
or
killed
just-
everything I came across.
Everything?
Run.
Did you kill other deer?
I killed literally every animal I found.
Including deer?
Oh,
So
no.
Okay.
when you get to the female deer, just hang out on the female deer for a second and like a heart forms above their head.
Oh
And
yeah.
once the heart gets completely full, then you drop a baby deer, or I should say the doe
that's
drops
what
a
that
baby
is?
deer.
Well, I don't know.
And that's what your respawn / extra life is. I discovered this all through trial and error.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. There's like nothing really telling you anything in this.
Oh no, there's no direction
No
whatsoever in the
direction.
entire game. It's run right is what I did the entire time.
Yeah, I saw the heart and I thought maybe they're filling up my health or something. I didn't
No,
realize
no,
it was
you're
making
impregnating
babies. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense too.
And if
Dear
you adjust
God.
the camera just right, oh no, never mind.
Oh my god. Dear God. Dear God. All right. Well, I guess did we exhaust that conversation of Dear God?
I think so.
I think so.
So
yeah.
I'm really sorry for going on a tirade and halfway defending the game, but
no,
I didn't hate
mean,
the game.
that's awesome that we have, different opinions on this game. Like I'm going to try it again. And I'm going to try to reincarnate as a snake or a rabbit to prove everybody that you come back as a snake or a rabbit. Because
Oh, I believe you, because even when I was looking at the list of things you can do, like you can come back as different animals, and I don't know if there's perks or not to it, and I don't know if I continue playing from where I am, if I can continue going and like subvert into that. But
yeah, you don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you that.
well, I'm halfway intrigued though, and I kind of want to keep playing this.
No, there's nothing to
game.
do as a snake. The snake is the worst. Don't come back as a snake. He can't jump. He cannot jump. And then you get eaten by an alligator is the worst. Or you fall through the pits of hell.
Questioning religion.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Jordan.
Jordan,
Yeah.
it's your pick. Yeah.
So I was looking during this type of episode for other games, and I did change my pick, but you did
Oh.
not guess it right, Roger.
I didn't?
It was a
Oh.
different game, but I
Oh.
did change my pick.
Okay.
So,
Can you tell
my
us what
pick-
your original pick was?
No, maybe I'll pick it in the future.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But the reason why I said you would probably like it is because it was an RPG. That's why.
Oh, okay.
And instead, I am picking Agent A, a puzzle in disguise.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That game looks awesome.
It is $2 right now. It is normally $20. It is on sale until August 11th.
Ooh,
wow.
So we got some time. Nice.
Yeah. 90% off.
So does it say you? Does it say you? Does it tell you what the game is about?
It says that it is your mission, should you choose to accept, is to infiltrate and blah, blah, that's all, whatever. It has stylish 1960s inspired art, 35 unique environments to explore, 100 inventory-based puzzles, and 50 puzzle screens. So it's heavy on the puzzles and like a spy sort of story, it seems.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I will say this game made my short list 2 weeks ago when I had to pick the game.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, nice.
Yep. I'm pretty stoked about this one.
Sweet.
Cool. I'm excited. That'll be fun. Yeah, so we'll play that. Listeners, if you want to join in, if you played that game, or if you are going to pick the game up, let us know. You can send us a tweet at GamerHeadsPC or at Focus Nindie, and let us know what you think about the game, and we'll read your comments on the air. All right. Before we go, then let's go around and tell people how they can get a hold of us. And Phil, how can people get a hold of you?
I am on Twitter at BNow23.
Nice. And Mike, how can people get a hold of you?
You can find me on Twitter at TCThrowers and at twitch.tv/TCThrowers.
And then on Wednesday nights, you have your shows at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yes, it is. You could also download the podcast right here on GamerHeadsPodcast.com.
You can. That's true. That is true. And
I was halfway waiting for the Christian voice to kick in there with GamerHeadsPodcast.com.
yeah. GamerHeadsPodcast.com. Nice. And Jordan, how can people get a hold of you?
On Twitter at Cryptic Jordan.
And are you streaming or not? Are you kind of taking a break?
I'm still taking a break.
Okay. All right. No, that's cool.
But how am I supposed to see the guinea pigs?
Yeah, right. That's true. That is true.
I'll put up some more videos on Twitter.
Yes.
Nice. And listeners, as I mentioned, you can follow us on Twitter. You can follow the show at Focus Nindie, or you can follow Gamerheads PC. You can also send us an email at info@gamerheadspodcast.com, or you can go to the website like Mike mentioned, and you can catch all the shows, including this one, TC Throwers, the Controller Throwers, Bells and Roses Podcast, and the Real Dudes Podcast, all at gamerheadspodcast.com. All right. Well, Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thanks as always.
And Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
And Jordan, thank you so much for joining us.
Always.
And listeners, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and giving us a listen. We really appreciate it. If you do like what you hear, do leave us a review on iTunes, Google Play, Podchaser, wherever you get your podcast, and we will read your reviews on the air. Until next week, stay safe and game on. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
So long.
Bye.
Bye.